financial journey and the markets around us. That's Dollars and Cents, Thursday afternoons at 4, here on WSIC.
Welcome to Community Centered, a show that features people in the community doing good things. Now, here are your hosts, Debbie O'Handley and Margi Kyle.
Welcome, welcome, listeners. Happy Tuesday. We are delighted to be back. Margi and I, we have not been back since before Christmas.
No.
Both of us had a little holiday break and some illness that we had to take care of. So if I step away for a second, it's because I'm going to start coughing, but I am 100% better, and I know you are as well. So you are listening to WSIC. We are 105.9, streaming live. This is where local starts here. Margi, how are you?
I am well.
I haven't seen you in a while.
I know. It's been a good 3 weeks or so.
We have been exchanging cough recipes and how to get better recipes back and forth with each other. It's kind of crazy how we both ended up with the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
That nobody seems to be able to describe or tell you what it is.
Well, not even the doctor could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too. Like nobody could, it's not COVID, it's not RSV, it's not this, it's not that. I'm like, what is it and why won't it go away? So I did a lot of researching on myself on what to do about this. So I'm drinking something now. I'm going to get it wrong. Maybe our guest today can correct me, but I think it's called fire cider. That's my new thing.
Not a fireball.
Not a fireball, fire cider. And I will share with you. It is apple cider vinegar, cayenne, turmeric,
They're all good things
fermented
for you.
garlic, onion, all of this stuff that you have to take first thing in the morning on an empty tummy.
Oh,
But I have to tell you, it did the trick.
good.
It really, really did the trick. And I am expecting great things if I continue to take it, because I don't think I'll have
You're
very
going to
many.
lose all your
I
friends.
am going to lose all my friends from taking it, but I highly recommend it and do your own research. It is working for me.
Good.
And so maybe I'll make some up for you. And we
Oh,
can
that
have
would
it
be-
together.
Okay.
Yeah. So what's new? What's happening in 2024 for Margi?
Well, it's just nice to feel better and know that
Mhm.
my family survived it as well,
Yeah.
because everybody was sick.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I've started the year just being very grateful for
Yeah.
everything that I've had
Mm-hmm.
and where I've been and where I want to go,
Mm-hmm.
and that I still have things I can look forward to, especially radio and writing
Mm-hmm.
and my little kids' little smiles.
I love that. I
So-
love that, a lot of people talk about their word, right? Like some folks make goals and new things for the new year, and a lot of people pick a word. I'm still waiting on mine. I've had several different ideas for things, and I take that very seriously, because usually what I put out there is something that really keeps coming over and over to
Yeah.
me throughout the year.
That's right.
Excuse me. So I love grateful that you're there, and I think that's really shows your healing and
Trying
shows
to,
where you're
yeah.
at. So God bless with that. I hope that it continues and that you can make grateful grow.
Yes, me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
So-
I don't do New Year's resolutions.
Me either.
Well, number one, I went to bed way too early. I
Me
think I was
too.
in bed by 8:30.
I was too, still sick, so I was in bed. I sent my husband out. I said, "You go, don't let me stop you." And he was like, "Are you sure?" I was like, "Please go."
Yeah, I'm going to bed.
Yeah. And so he
So,
went,
yeah.
and I feel the same way.
Yeah, I just think they're silly because I've never really adhered to them.
Well, I think you have to be careful on what you prophesize to
Yeah.
or what you put out there. Like I kept saying the week of Christmas, which was crazy. I hope I was getting 28 families ready for Christmas, plus my own, plus all the other fa-la-laing that goes with that. And I just kept saying, I just want a long winter's nap. And it was kind of smart, Alec,
Yeah.
you said that, but I did get it with being sick. So I was like, okay, I
Careful
gotta be
what you ask for.
Careful what you ask for. So I know that
Oh.
we missed being here. We missed Bill's birthday. So happy birthday,
Yes,
Bill.
happy birthday.
We missed the holidays.
And last week, that storm just
Crazy.
about, oh my God.
Wasn't
At
that
2
crazy?
o'clock when I'm normally getting ready to leave, you couldn't see outside.
It was crazy. It really was. The build up for it, the fact that they had canceled school and you were like, okay, what exactly is happening? And, and of course I deal with families in trauma, so they were all traumatized by it. So I had them all jacked up.
Yeah.
And it was a pretty significant storm.
They said, we got the message, get in your bathtub. I thought, I can't do that normally. Why am I going to do that now?
It's storm preparedness, right? Like, are you ready for these kind of things? And it kind of sends the message too. Are we talking about it? Are we
Yeah.
ready for these kind of things? Because this is the South. Our weather can be very erratic. And I mean, it's freezing today, right? I mean, the last couple
Well,
of weeks.
compared to where?
Well, I think like the Midwest and some of the East Coast. I know my husband's in Kentucky and he said it's 17. Brr. I said, yeah, it is chilly. So,
Yeah.
crazy. But anyway, so a lot of crazy weather lately for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. But I know that the station still stood. It got through that storm.
It did,
We
and
are
Bill made it in here.
We were glad that they were there and glad that they could put in a substitute for us. Although there's nothing like us in person.
Well, they still saw us in person. It was just a rerun.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like we weren't personally here in the building with Bill, getting the signals from him. So I am super excited about our guest today. Talk about New Year's and new resources and things. Danielle is really a gifted individual. And many years ago, we were talking before the show, I think it was 2018, maybe 2019. She interviewed me at this very station, but up in Statesville. So I'm going to turn the table on her because she didn't try to stump me, but a couple of times I was like, so that'll be my goal today to see if I can return the favor to her. But
well, and it's funny how you run into people. I was out to lunch with another friend of mine, and as I was leaving, I saw you right there, and you called me over, and I thought, you got to be a guest on our show.
I hope people understand that Margie and I do this on a wing and a prayer. we see someone we know and we're like, hey, you would be really great to talk to because we love to talk, right? And so when we meet people, and actually if you have an idea for a show, you can always call the show 844-STUDIO-4, and Bill will get some information from you, and we would love to talk to you. The premise of our show is called Community Centered, where we're putting hope back in the headlines with a smile. So if you have something that you want to share that's hopeful, or something that you think might make someone smile by the good that you're doing in our community, we would love to talk to you. And I think that our guest today really embodies both hope and both smiling.
I do too, and I think she's very open about talking about her past and the fact that you have to be careful or you do burn out.
Right, right.
You know?
I love the work-life balance and knowing what that means and how that...
And I really can't wait to see what she has to say about that.
Me too, because that is something that I push on the back burner in the job that I do. At Christmas, my family was like, you're gonna fizzle. So when we come back from break, we are going to be talking with Danielle Ratliff on the amazing things that she does for our community and how she definitely is making hope happen despite some circumstances and some things that she's been through. She is a hope maker, a hope changer. And I'm excited to talk to her.
I am too.
We are going to have a lot to share with her, and I was just teasing Danielle. I won't try to put you on the carpet, but I know that you have a lot to share, and it's going to be a fast hour so that we can get all of the good things in that she's
Fasten your seatbelts.
Yes, and get ready for Community Centered, where we are talking about hope and healing and smiling in our community. You're listening to WSIC 105.9, where local starts here. We'll be back shortly from break talking to Danielle Ratliff.
There's more Community Centered with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle on the way from 105.9, 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Well, continued clearing as we head into our Tuesday evening. Clear skies tonight and getting cold. Our first of two Arctic blasts on the way this week. Temperatures will drop down into the mid-teens by the time you wake up tomorrow morning. Sunshine is back, but it is a cold day of weather for our Wednesday. High temperatures struggling to get out of the 30s by tomorrow afternoon. Warming up a bit into the 40s Thursday and Friday, but another blast of Arctic air on the way. Teens and 30s on the way this weekend. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. Having performed all over the world, written hit songs, and mentored artists, Rocky Lynn is making another stop here at home, playing at Kane Center for the Arts this Saturday. Listen each weekday morning for your chance to win tickets and meet and greet passes. And come hang out with us prior to the show. WSIC will be in front of Kane Center for the Arts from 6 to 7 p.m. Rocky Lynn this Saturday, kanearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. Mooresville Parks and Recreation presents the Hitmen of Country, playing at the Charles Mack Citizen Center Friday, January 19th. Love country music? The Hitmen of Country have toured and recorded with some of the country's greatest artists, like Keith Urban, Trace Adkins, Travis Tritt, and Jason Aldean. For more information, go to visitmooresville.com. That's visitmooresville.com. Birkdale on Ice is still going on through January 28th. Time to lace up your skates and hit the ice. To make sure you can skate when you want, we recommend you making a reservation. For skate session info, including times and pricing, visit birkdalevillage.com. Want to attend the Greater Charlotte Home and Landscape Show? How about the Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show? Throughout the day, you have your chance to win tickets. Listen each day to Good Morning LKN, the Home Ad Show, the News Drive at 5, and the Scoreboard. Each show gives you your chance to win. The Greater Charlotte Home and Garden Show, February 23rd through the 25th. The Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show, January 26th through the 28th. Have an event you'd like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
Now, more community centered with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle on 105.9 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Welcome back. Local does start here. And I am just so excited to share with you our guest. I would love, not only myself personally, but I know Danielle and Debbie would love to have call-ins too. If you have questions, please do not hesitate to call 844-STUDIO-4. It is a pleasure to introduce our guest, Danielle Ratliff. We met when you owned Serenity Now, and I had studied Reiki, and I wanted a place to get a good massage, and I met you, and I could not believe, at that point you had 3 massage technicians.
Yep.
When you closed it down due to COVID, like everything else, or sold it, you had 15
Wow.
technicians and serving over 11,000 people.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
That's huge.
Yeah, it was a good 8-year journey.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did you do before Serenity Now?
I was a registered dietitian before Serenity Now, so I started out with Carolina's healthcare system before it became Atrium, and worked in the hospital for about a year, and before I transitioned to a weight management center where I did outpatient counseling and community speaking engagement. So I was helping people basically eat healthier, lose weight, and feel better. But
I'm sure that was a frustrating job because I've tried to be one of your clients and it's never worked.
It came with its challenges, definitely. I mean, any kind of behavior change can be difficult.
Yeah.
It's a lot of times people know what to do already. It's just putting the habits into place and helping people with that. I used a cognitive behavioral therapy approach, during that time, but I did get eventually kind of burned out with it. So that was the transition to massage therapy.
Which is going to lead us to a question, probably not right now, but tips on how not to burn out.
Mm-hmm. Work-life balance is important,
It
else you
is.
will burn out.
Yeah.
I've burned out twice in my life, and I'm only 40, so I've already had 2 burnouts.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You're just a puppy.
Yeah. I'm still a baby.
Just a youngster.
Oh my gosh. So you took something that was already a great idea and built it into something huge that is still doing very, very well, thanks to your good foundation.
Yeah. And the lady who purchased it from me during COVID, she's Amanda Taylor. She's doing a wonderful job with it. And a lot of the therapists who were there when I sold it are still there. And They've expanded since then, so it's
Well,
wonderful.
that has to speak volumes for what you started.
That must make you very proud.
It
Yeah.
does,
Yes.
and I'm glad that it lives on, and they're still able to, serve the clients
Yeah.
that we were serving then, and new ones, I'm sure, since then. So it's good that it's still doing well, and that makes me happy.
So now you're into creative marketing professional,
Hmm.
and your company is Joyful Rising Writing and Marketing.
Yes, yeah. So I do websites and writing, copywriting for other small businesses. So if
Okay.
people need help with messaging, or they want a new website or an email campaign, or need help with social media, Google Ads, I basically put all the skills that I learned running the other small business to work for other small businesses, because
Okay.
most people, when they open a small business or become an entrepreneur, they don't go into it because they want to market it. They go into it because they want to do whatever it is that their company
That's
does.
right.
And unless you outsource that, you have to do it yourself. And there's only so much time in a day. And as you ladies know from small business and nonprofit work, it's all encompassing if you don't outsource something.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I'm able to be that person who's a support for other small businesses on the marketing side, whether it's consulting or doing the actual marketing work for them.
Okay.
Mhm.
Wow.
Fabulous.
Yeah. Now, just very quickly, you might tell people where they can get and how they can get a hold of
Yeah,
you.
if you go to joyfulrisingwriting.com, all of my contact information is there. And that's probably the easiest place to get the information for me, or you're welcome to just look my name up on
Yeah.
social media, on Facebook, Instagram, and my profile will pop up.
And I think if they do that now, they might come up with a good question for you.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that they will take the time to do that, especially as we move forward in this interview.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
We'd love some call-ins if anybody
Yeah.
wants to join us on the show.
That would be awesome.
It would be. It would be. So, what's your biggest challenge today? Is it getting new clients to help?
No. Well, actually, my biggest challenge right now is a personal challenge, because
Okay, well, share that with us because
work is going great, and I've been blessed to have a lot of referral business and word of mouth business, just I guess because of how established I was beforehand. So
Right.
I don't actually have to do a whole lot of marketing for my own company. But personally, my partner, girlfriend, she has multiple myeloma. We found out over Thanksgiving, and so we're going through the whole cancer diagnosis and treatment right now. So that's more of the struggle at the moment than work.
And that is the hardest struggle you'll ever go through. I
Yeah.
went through it for 4 years.
Yeah.
Do you feel like, Danielle, with some of the resources that you have as being a dietitian and a massage therapist, that you're attacking this from a holistic perspective
Yeah.
as well?
Yeah. I
So-
think it gave me a good background
Yeah.
and just a good knowledge of the medical field in general, what questions to ask the doctors. I mean, I worked on the oncology floor for a little bit when I was in the hospital setting for that year.
Yeah.
So I kind of know what she needs from a nutrition standpoint.
And I feel like, if ever, God forbid, something like that happened to someone that I loved, I would be thinking, what are all the modalities? Give me it all, right? I mean, I'd want to follow my doctor's advice and medicine and all of that, but, some of the things that you can do, I think would really be beneficial as
Yeah,
well.
they're helpful.
So.
Yeah, and we're doing counseling, so that's
So,
helpful.
but how do you take care of you as the caregiver, right? So let's talk about work-life balance.
Yeah, it's a challenge, but I do try to get outside, a few times a day with my dog for a walk. Nature is my happy place. It always has been. So I try to get out and just commune with nature and my crazy dog, who loves to run around like a wild man. He makes me laugh. And then I'm doing counseling about every other week. Luckily, Novant's system has free counseling through the Buddy Camp Center for family members. So
Now,
that's been
from what
helpful.
I've read, she's doing well.
She is, yes. The treatment is dropping, the myeloma markers. We got labs back yesterday, and so she's starting round 3 this week.
And she seems to be tolerating it well.
She's tolerating it as well as can be, so that's good. And we're on track to have a stem cell transplant in March.
Okay.
So the oncologist is thrilled. She said she has not seen numbers drop this quickly with most of her cancer patients. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's
Really
a
good
really
thing.
good
So it's
news.
working, you know.
Yeah. But again, how are you taking care of Danielle? Did you see how she avoided answering that question, Margie? So give her a little challenge.
Outside.
Here's
Nature,
your challenge. Nature.
yeah.
Okay.
Nature, counseling. And, you know, I'm not ashamed to say that I am back on antidepressant and anti-anxiety medication.
Yeah. Good for
I
you.
had weaned off of that years ago, but I know that, you know, when situations are stressful,
That's right.
it's a good, helpful boost. And, you know, should be no stigma behind it.
We have to remove that. That is definitely. I mean, we are
Yeah.
facing in our community a mental health epidemic, a crisis.
We absolutely are.
And you know, we're addressing all kinds of different things, but no one's addressing that, and or are they talking about it? So we have a whole nother show, Margie, to do about that.
Yes.
But I'm super proud of you, Danielle, for talking about that, bringing that to the forefront, and to also practice what you preach, right? You help people, and the fact that you now are having to follow through and do what you would probably be recommending to other people, I think is really, the best messaging out there, right?
That's right.
To take care of yourself.
Yeah,
So,
it is. And it's the hardest thing to do.
absolutely. So
Yeah.
I'm sorry about your news
thank you.
and your obstacle, but I think you're pretty strong.
Yeah, we're both strong, and we're getting through it, and it's bringing us closer too. So, yeah, there's always a lesson and silver lining in every
And
single
there's
challenge
always
in life.
gratitude.
There
And
is.
Thank goodness for our puppies.
Yes, our
What
fur
would we do
babies
without
make
our
us
fur
laugh.
puppies? Never do that for
I'm
sure.
trying to get a little bird. That's all I want.
Get you a butterfly.
No, I'm getting a lovebird.
Oh,
Aw.
I love that.
Yeah,
Are you going to?
I am.
Oh,
I
lovely.
went through a breeder in Florida, and because of the weather, it's not been able to send the bird up to me yet. But we had a lovebird for 9 years.
Aw.
And I was telling Bill and Danielle that she'd sit on Lee's lap, go over and give him a little kiss, and dive down into his pocket, come back up again, kiss him,
Aw.
and he'd put little treats in the pocket, and she'd dive back. She lived there all day.
Oh, that's awesome.
Now, obviously, we had to clean the shirts often.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he just loved that bird.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah,
think
they're
that's
very
lovely.
sweet. If you want a bird,
Yeah.
that's the best. I've tried parakeets, and they squawk and flew away.
Yeah, and they're messy. They're messy too. Oh goodness. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing more about that. A lovebird. That's cool.
So fun.
Super fun. So tell us more about joyful writing. I mean, for someone who does a lot of writing in the non-for-profit world or talks publicly a lot, sometimes I don't think people understand the amount of preparation and work that goes into doing that. And also, I know Margie too. So, I can't imagine doing that for someone else. I don't know what that would look like.
I'm having enough trouble doing it for myself.
I know. I was thinking, you want to do this, Danielle? I mean, that's great. And I know that we have to take a station break here shortly, but I want to really be thinking intentionally about what joyful writing is, like, because I think the narratives are so important. But in the work that I do, I walk a happy line between exploitation and a narrative, right? People want to know the stories, but I want to protect and serve the individuals that, and same thing for you, Margie, right?
Yeah.
You want to protect your people that you serve too, but we do want to tell the story because that's where the sweet stuff is.
Do you help people that are trying to write a book?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm
Yeah.
calling you soon.
I can. Yep. Anything that has to do with writing or marketing,
Okay.
I can help with.
Good.
Yep.
Good.
Are we hearing a 2024 announcement? Are you writing a book?
I've been trying to for about 5 years.
When we come back from break, we're going to learn more about Margie and her book writing with Danielle Ratliff, our guest.
Community Centered with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle will return after this short break on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
We'll continue clearing as we head into our Tuesday evening. Clear skies tonight and getting cold. Our first of 2 Arctic blasts on the way this week. Temperatures will drop down into the mid-teens by the time you wake up tomorrow morning. Sunshine is back, but it is a cold day of weather for our Wednesday. High temperatures struggling to get out of the 30s by tomorrow afternoon. Warming up a bit into the 40s Thursday and Friday, but another blast of Arctic air on the way. Teens and 30s on the way this weekend. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
I feel occasional burning and stabbing in my hands as I age.
I sometimes feel numbness and tingling in my feet as I get older.
It's starting to get in the way of doing what I love.
At Nervive, we hear you, and we can help. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use.
Now that I know, I'm taking control.
Try Nervive Nerve Relief and say yes to healthy nerves. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Progressive asks, what do an escaped leopard,
We're live from the zoo where a leopard has escaped,
a growling stomach, an uneaten tuna sandwich, and a backdoor doggy door have in common? They can lead to an unexpected kitchen renovation.
Yeah, hi. Is this the zoo? Your leopard is in my kitchen.
Bundle your home and auto with Progressive for great savings and round-the-clock protection.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
The smarter ways to sweep your floors. It's time to make the swap. Swiffer Power Mop.
Introducing the new Swiffer Power Mop, the all-in-one tool that gives you a mop and bucket clean in half the time. The solution's built right in, so no heavy bucket, and the pad has hundreds of scrubbing strips to get deep into grout. Don't mop harder, mop smarter.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
Hi, this is Susan. I'm excited to let you know that Lake Mountain Coffee is now available for private events. Our beautiful historic building with its 360-degree mezzanine has hosted many private parties, catered diners, and even an actual wedding. Please contact Andy at 704-252-1886 for more information. Thank you so much.
Prioritizing your health is one of the best ways to take care of yourself. From routine visits to the joys of pregnancy to the illnesses that stop you in your tracks, Iredell Health System will be by your side. Learn more at iredellhealth.org.
Call now to speak with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle at 844-STUDIO-4. It's community-centered on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Welcome, welcome. Happy Tuesday. Did I say that yet, Margie?
Yes, you did.
Okay. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, Danielle. I am very excited to talk to you. I know
they should have been here during the commercial.
They should have. We had some good conversation here. We were talking about books and eating disorders and all kinds of crazy, wild, wonderful things that we really need to address in our community. But I want to talk a minute about your marketing strategies and your work that you do there. What would you say, because you are multifaceted, Danielle, there's many talents that you are out here on the table, from nutrition, dietitian, massage therapist, all of the great community work that you do in the leadership with, you show some small businesses. But what's your favorite part of what you do?
So with my work, my favorite part is really getting to know the business owner.
Yeah.
And a lot of times with my website projects, I will reach out to their customers or clients, some of their favorite people that they've worked with, to get their take on what it's like, getting a service or product from that business, and just being able to meet those people and find out what is it that you're helping them with.
So you actually walk in their shoes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Does it happen every time that they have that aha moment when they're working with you, where they're like, yeah, now you know, this is what I'm trying to do, but I don't know how to do it.
Right.
I know how to make burgers, but I don't know how to get my message out there or be the best burger there is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually just had an instance of that with my latest website project. Michelle McCone Campbell, she's a confidence coach and a public speaker in the area based out of Davidson, and she had tried, to put a website together for years, and she just wasn't able to find the right words or the right way to do it in a way that felt like it was resonating with the people she wanted to serve. And so we connected. We had actually met years before volunteering with Love Progress Park, a local organization. And she said that the process really gave her confidence in what she's doing and helped her see that, she's already touched so many lives around here because of my connections with, reaching out to her clients and getting their feedback and all the wonderful things they had to say about their experience with her. It boosted her to a point where she feels ready to, expand and serve even more people. So, that's an instance of being able to get in there, figure out what is it that you're helping these people with, why do they love working with you, and then how do we put that into words and visuals, in a concise way that's, not too lengthy, because people's attention spans are like this big now.
Yeah, I would imagine there's a lot of humility in that, right? Like understanding yourself and I'm not in it for that, but yet you do need to be in it for that. You do need to understand what it is that you're trying to sell, not only the product, but yourself.
Right, because it's about connections. I mean, at the end of the day, I think at least all small business is about those connections and the people. And when you're able to form solid connections with people in the community, you don't have to market yourself then because they tell other people about you or they had such a wonderful experience that when someone is looking for a similar service, they say, oh, hey, I know this person. They helped me with this and they did a great job. You should contact them. And so that's the ultimate goal, is to get them to the point where they don't need marketing because
and I think
referrals are doing it for them.
Right.
And to get yourself before you do burn out. Because it's probably very easy if you're frustrated and you're not doing well to burn out.
Yes, and to throw in the towel because you're like, it's just not worth it. I mean, I remember with Serenity Now, there were years where I was working 60 to 80 hours a week. That was just my norm, and that was why I got to the point of, okay, I either have to sell this or shut it down because I physically and mentally cannot keep pushing myself this way. And it was because I tried to do it all and be it all, and I didn't outsource a whole lot while I was doing that.
Good point.
And so knowing, what are my strengths with the business that I'm running and where do I struggle, and let's outsource the things where I struggle or where I just don't enjoy doing those things. Let somebody else do that. And then you focus on the part that you love, whatever it is. Like with you ladies, it's, serving the children in the community. So,
yeah. So let's talk about that work-life balance thing, which
elusive.
I'm avoiding eye contact with you because I am not a good person to be talking about this topic about because I have zero of that. I don't want to miss a moment of everything that happens at Hope House. And I know, Margie, you probably feel the same way about Little Smiles.
Yeah.
You don't want to miss a moment of it because I had my annual meeting with my board a couple of weekends ago, and I said, I'm sad that you're not a part of listening every single day to the amazing transformation that happens to folks whose lives are in our hands, who we're offering an opportunity for. And I don't want to miss a day of that. I want that to continue forever and ever.
Well, that's your payment.
Right? And so talking about really this year of having that work-life balance for me and pulling back a little bit is tough.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's tough to do. And I look over here at my friend who, she's no role model for me either. So I can't make eye contact with her
You
either.
openly admit there's an issue there. Yes.
I think we need a support circle that we need to talk about.
Yeah.
And my name is Debbie, and I have no work-life balance.
Yes, I'm a workaholic.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's most small business owners. I mean, when you love what you do, you put your entire heart and soul and most of your time into it. What you have to do is decide that, okay, I cannot continue doing this long term if I don't make changes, and you have to start committing to shutting it off.
Right.
What I do now is I try to say, okay, I'm not going to work past 5:30 or 6, unless there's some kind of emergency or tight deadline that I'm working on, and I shut the computer down and I don't check my email, or not my work email, after that time. Like, I set limits for myself. And I typically don't start my workday until 9 or 9:30. Sometimes it's 10 because the morning is my time to just ease into things slowly, because I know that that helps me be more productive during my work hours.
Grounded too.
Yeah, during my work hours.
Yeah.
And it depends on what what relaxes you. So for me, I like yoga, I like walking, I like being outside, so those kinds of centering, balancing type of activities. But for some people, yoga's not their thing and they need to go for a run, or they need to go burn off steam with the punching bag, whatever it might be. But I think movement is really important and helpful, and that will make a big difference. And just being committed.
The practice of it too is really what's hard, right? Because we can all say, well, I'm going to go take that yoga class, or I'm going to go take, this, but getting there, there's always a million reasons why you can't get there. And, yoga for me, I'm not very bendy. So
I got kicked out of yoga because I was laughing so hard.
So that's obviously not your thing, either one of you.
Puppy yoga, though, I might make an exception for that. But you know what I'm saying? So, I think that just finding whatever it is that centers you and balances you is what's really important.
I agree.
And, it's probably not...
For Lee's mother, it was square dancing.
Yeah.
Fun.
Oh, she used to love that.
That's super fun. I did a pie chart thing once where it was like, how much of your pie is, in with your family, how much is your business, how much of it is. I was like, whoa, that's some pie. It was way out of balance.
Yeah.
But, I think as long as we're consciously aware of it and making an effort at trying to change some things. I know the station owner, I'm going to call him out, Justin Kizepis. He's one person that I think does a pretty good job at a work-life balance. He's a dad. Those kids are a priority to him. This new business of owning the station is important to him. And I think that he sets a good example for us, because I know he's also a board member at Hope House. And there are a lot of times that he just has to say no, or I can't do that because I'm looking for the balance in my life. So just a little shout out to Justin Kizepis and WSIC Radio.
Yeah. And boundaries are important. You have to know when to say no,
Yes.
And it's hard to do that. And I used to write scripts for myself ahead of time of how to say no to when I'm asked to, volunteer for this organization or help out with something or show up for this networking event. And I literally wrote scripts to help myself be able to tell people no, because I had such a hard time with that word in the past. And now I have no issue with, setting boundaries and knowing, does this align with what I want to do?
Yeah.
Do I have the time to do this? And if not, it's a no. It's like, thank you for thinking of me, but
we're getting
can't.
Getting very good at Hope House at writing permission slips to say no. Right? And so,
you
it's
have
a tool.
my permission not to do this.
Absolutely. And we're trying to get them, that concept there, because I don't think nobody does a really good job with that, right? Of holding back that kind of thing. So, well, thank you for that advice. That's really good work, life balance stuff. I'm going to work on that, Margie.
Good. I'm going to hold you to it.
Okay. And I'll look to my mentor, Justin Kizepis, to run that home for me.
Just remember, family first.
Absolutely.
There's no replacement for that.
Absolutely. You are absolutely right about that. Family. That's the hard part at Hope House, because they're like family. So we have to remember that. So again, if you want to call in, 844-STUDIO-4, we are talking with Danielle Ratliff. She is so fascinating and so multifaceted. Many things that I can think of. This conversation could go on for a long time. So when we come back from break, we're going to be talking with her. But if you've got something that you want to ask of Margie or myself or Danielle, please call in. You're listening to WSIC 105.9.
There's more Community Centered with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle on the way from 105.9, 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Well, continued clearing as we head into our Tuesday evening. Clear skies tonight and getting cold. Our first of 2 Arctic blasts on the way this week. Temperatures will drop down into the mid-teens by the time you wake up tomorrow morning. Sunshine is back, but it is a cold day of weather for our Wednesday. High temperatures struggling to get out of the 30s by tomorrow afternoon. Warming up a bit into the 40s Thursday and Friday, but another blast of Arctic air on the way. Teens and 30s on the way this weekend. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Having performed all over the world, written hit songs, and mentored artists, Rocky Lynn is making another stop here at home, playing at Kane Center for the Arts this Saturday. Listen each weekday morning for your chance to win tickets and meet and greet passes. And come hang out with us prior to the show. WSIC will be in front of Kane Center for the Arts from 6 to 7 p.m. Rocky Lynn this Saturday, kanearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. Mooresville Parks and Recreation presents the Hitmen of Country, playing at the Charles Mack Citizen Center Friday, January 19th. Love country music? The Hitmen of Country have toured and recorded with some of the country's greatest artists, like Keith Urban, Trace Adkins, Travis Tritt, and Jason Aldean. For more information, go to visitmooresville.com. That's visitmooresville.com. Birkdale on Ice is still going on through January 28th. Time to lace up your skates and hit the ice. To make sure you can skate when you want, we recommend you making a reservation. For skate session info, including times and pricing, visit birkdalevillage.com. Want to attend the Greater Charlotte Home and Landscape Show? How about the Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show? Throughout the day, you have your chance to win tickets. Listen each day to Good Morning LKN, the Home Ad Show, the News Drive at 5, and the Scoreboard. Each show gives you your chance to win. The Greater Charlotte Home and Garden Show, February 23rd through the 25th. The Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show, January 26th through the 28th. Have an event you'd like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
Call 844-STUDIO-4 now to join the community-centered discussion with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Welcome back. We get so connected during the commercials that it's hard to get back. And I still think some of our best conversations should be taped while we were doing that. But welcome back to WSIC with Danielle Ratliff. And I would love to know some of the signs, and please feel free to call in 844-STUDIO-4 if you have a question for any of us. Or what would be a sign that would say to you, you might want to take a good look at what you're doing, and are you doing it too much, and are you going to hit a burnout?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of signs for burnout, both physical and mental. You may notice that you're having trouble falling asleep at night. You may feel super anxious and just worked up all the time. I mean, it can get to a point where you have like panic attacks and heart palpitations, you know, if it gets really bad. And just noticing maybe that you're having trouble concentrating, you know, whereas before you might be able to focus on something for a longer period of time, but once you're getting to that burnout stage, the concentration starts to go and you just get irritable and just kind of angry at the world sometimes too.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily, you know, one set sign, but if things just feel off, you need to take a look at, you know, what's going on in my life right now, and am I working too hard, and am I pushing myself to the point that I'm not enjoying this anymore? You know, do you still love what you do? Do you still get excited about it, or are you dreading it because you're just so tired?
Yeah. Well, so there's got to be a balance during your day.
Absolutely.
Which I'm not good at.
Well, I think that's part of what makes a nonprofit unique in us be able to do some different things, right? I mean, we don't have a 9 to 5 where we're sitting at a job, at a desk, you know, looking at a computer or on the phone. We, you know, have the flexibility to be out and be mobile, or to, you know, take a break. Or I don't know who I was talking to during Christmas, but I was like, can I just stay here because no one can find me here? Like, to be able to just kind of, cut off and regroup a little bit like that. So I think, being able to know what those places of respite are and refuge. I know, again, during Christmas, I was like, can I just like lay down next to the cow in the stable? Just because I just feel like that sounds really dark and quiet right now. And, kind of the madness of when the frenzy of Christmas. So I think recognizing where your safe spaces are and who your safe people are.
I would agree with that, definitely.
And what some of those practices are that you have to do and be consciously aware of that, right?
Yeah.
We always talk at Hope House about what's your self-care. What did you do for yourself this week? And honestly, that is a concept that not a whole lot of people get.
No, I agree.
So I think we have to get better at making that a practice.
Yes.
And then practicing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and realizing that self-care is not selfish. It's actually one of the best things you can do for others, because if you are in a good place mentally and physically, then you're able to better care for other people and better serve
Well,
other
that's
people.
why I think some of those services like massage, Reiki,
yoga,
any of those
are all such helpful things. I'm
They
thinking,
are.
Danielle, of what your life must be like now, right? With a business and, a caregiver and a dog and a child and like all of those things that pile on, that you don't lose yourself in all of that. And you seem really, really focused and really in a good place. So whatever you're doing is working. So keep it up.
You wouldn't have wanted to see me right after the diagnosis.
Yes,
So the
I
first
would
few
imagine.
weeks were...
It's awful.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I'm sure out of body.
Awful. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's complete shock. But, that's normal when you receive news like that, and, realizing that, okay, I'm not going crazy. This is just what's happening right now.
Yeah.
And we've got to figure out how to get through it. But
come up with a plan. Yeah. And I think the plan, there's perfection in the plan, right? Like you have to be able to say that, there's a way out.
Yeah. And there is. And just having faith that, things are going to work out and it's going to be okay.
Being
trying
able
to be positive.
communicate in a positive way.
Yeah. And when the communication is not positive, because there's times where that's going to happen.
That's right.
Giving each other grace and realizing, okay, we're human. And, we've coined the phrase being a drill bit instead of the 5-letter word to call each other out when we're having our being a drill bit.
Oh, that's good. Can I use that?
Yes, you absolutely can.
You are being a drill bit.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes. Because everyone's going to have their moments, and it's normal to have outbursts and, to have difficulty with communication at times, and that's okay. You just have to give each other grace.
Yeah, you do.
I'm sure you went through that with Lee.
Yeah, I did. I did.
Were you a drill bit, Margie?
No.
I didn't think so.
No.
I think you were just a very gentle, compassionate caregiver.
And that would almost make him mad because he knew how I probably would be feeling.
Right.
But I'm being very gentle and caring, and it was tough because Lee couldn't stand to see me cry. If he couldn't fix it, it drove him crazy.
Yeah, I would imagine.
And I finally said, I'm going to cry, so I'm getting the heck out of here.
I'm sure there are those moments in all of that where you just you need a safe space.
Yeah,
right?
you do.
To be able to let loose and let some of that go. Well, I applaud you. How does it feel being back in the studio with the microphone and headphones? Yeah,
it's good. Yeah,
I think you
it's
might
like
have to
riding,
talk to Justin.
like riding a horse.
I bet
It just comes back to you.
I bet it comes back to you. It really does. It's addicting.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, isn't it, Margie?
I
and
love
powerful.
it.
Right?
Well, it's fun.
Yes.
We have a good time.
Well, the microphone, right? Like I'm always fascinated at the amount of people that say to me, oh, I'll never talk in front of a microphone, or I can't do that, or whatever. Like, you have no idea the power of what you can reach. And I just think that, maybe there was a listener today that needed to hear your message. Maybe there was someone who was driving in their car,
people
stopped at a light, and they tuned in and they heard what you had to say, and they're going to noodle with it a little bit and maybe reach out and ask you, how are you making that look so easy, Danielle?
No,
And
it's
I
not
gotta
easy.
stop
Yeah.
being such
Yeah.
a drill bit.
Yeah. Perfect. Sergeant Drill Bit. I'm loving it. I think that's awesome.
I think that's cute.
One of my board members calls me the hammer.
Yeah.
So I like a drill
There you
bit.
go.
So thank you for that. That's a good one I'm going to take away from today. But what are some parting words you want to share with our community today here on Community Centered?
Just know that there's always going to be challenges in life, and if you approach it with the attitude of what can I learn from this, and
Yeah.
and how can I grow through this, it makes the challenges easier. It's still hard, and you're still going to have moments where you break down, and you ask why is this happening. But if you approach it with the attitude of I'm going to grow through this, I'm going to get stronger because of this, and what can I learn from it, and what are all the things that I still have in my life that I can be grateful for?
Yeah.
Then
And what can I do for somebody else to make their day
Right.
better too?
Yeah, because it makes such a difference, with the mindset versus going into a dark place
Yes.
immediately.
And staying in that dark place.
Yeah, and it's okay to go in the dark place.
Yeah.
Some, I mean, you might, but if you do get to that really dark place, then get help.
Ask for help.
Yeah,
Yep.
get talk to your doctor.
Yeah.
Get counseling. I mean, I've been in counseling off and on, most of my life, and I'm back in counseling again. You don't be ashamed to reach out to other people, to admit that there's issues right now and I need some help, and
Yeah.
that's okay. That's a strong thing to do.
That's right.
There should be no stigma with it.
Yeah.
That is excellent advice, Danielle, because I don't know one person, including any of us at this table or in our community that's listening today, that can't really fall on those good, sweet words that you had to share. It's important to know that just ask for help. There's amazing people in our community that
There are.
provide services, whether your thing is yoga, meditation, Reiki, pastor, counselor, social workers, whatever you can find and grab onto. Find yourself a life preserver to help you get through the storm, because the storms pass, right?
They do.
I read something once where it talked about a shipwreck, and sometimes when your ship gets wrecked, you're holding on to a piece of that ship that you need to let go because someone else might need it. You're still intact. Your ship got wrecked. You're still intact, but let go. Let go of some of that stuff.
Let go and grow.
Absolutely.
Yes. Oh, I love that.
Absolutely, yeah. And, ask for help. Ask for somebody to come alongside of you and help that with that burden. I think that's good advice, and I know that we'll be praying and hoping for your partner that she champions this. I know a stem cell transplant looks in your future. We'll wish for all good things for that, and good news. There's amazing things happening every single day in our medicine world, so we're going to hope that she can get better soon.
Thank you.
And your life returns to normal.
Yeah, normal-ish.
What is normal?
There is no normal.
I know. Can we find some sweet words about what would joyful writing say about normal?
There is no normal.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Check
is
out,
no
Debbie,
normal.
because there is no such thing as normal. Well, it's been a delight learning about you again. I want to point you to joyfulrisingwriting.com.
Yep.
I want to point you to finding Danielle on LinkedIn or on Instagram, and Facebook. All of the social media outlets that are out there, you can find Danielle. If you have a question, you could always call into the studio too, even after we're here. If something occurred to you, if you said, hey, what she said, I really want to talk to her about that. So I think that would be awesome. And we just want to thank you for being part of our community and doing hope and making it look good, and with a smile. You always have a smile. I would never know what you were going through, but I want to thank you for making our first show back after all of the New Year and sickness that we have, really one that really makes some sweetness hang off my lips. How about you, Margie?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
We are delighted to have you. So thank you for being a part of us. And we will see you next week here on Community Centered with my friend Margi Kyle. I'm Debbie O'Hanley, your hostess of Community Centered. We'll see you next week. Thank you.